Okay, so intro lesson to chapter 9 on triangle properties, angles. That's what the whole chapter 9 is about, angles. So I know you guys learned a lot about angles, so this is just a refresher. When three sides are not equal, what kind of what kind of triangle is it? When three sides are not equal, what do we call this type of triangle? Yep, scalene. All right, and what about the angles? All three angles are, yep. No, so like when all three sides are not equal, that means all three angles are also not equal, right? Okay. Do you need to know the spelling of these? Yes. Okay. When two sides are equal, we call it isosceles. This is how you spell isosceles, not isole, not isosceles. Okay, so make sure you know how to spell it. Yes, spelling does count on the next one. When three sides are equal, what do we call those? So yes, equilateral, right? Equilateral. That's how you spell it. When you have all three sides equal, what can you also say about the three angles? They're also equal. So how much are each angle? Which is how many degrees? If all three angles are the same, yep. 60, right? Because in a triangle, all three angles add up to 180. So 180 divided by 3, 60, right? This right here, you guys learned since like I think grade 6. Acute angle, right angle, and obtuse angle. These are really important in checking your answer because you can see an angle like this is less than 90 degrees. So you say it's an acute angle, but then somehow when you guys solve for the math and you give me an angle that is like you say this angle is 150 degrees. Okay, so then that tells you you did something wrong. Okay, same thing right here. If this angle right here looks like it's an obtuse angle, more than 90, your final answer better be between 90 to 180. Okay, so your angle and your answer should match up somewhat. Okay, these properties right here, you have to know these ones too. When two angles add up to 180, we call it, anybody remember the name? When two angles add up to 180, starts with a S. Sophia? Yeah, supplementary. Okay, supplementary angles. What about the one that when the two angles add up to 90 degrees? What do we call that? Starts with a C. Anybody remember? Complementary. Good. Okay. Complementary. Okay. This right here is opposite. So opposite when you see an X, it's opposite. Alright, so the two angles are equal. Um, in a triangle, the angles add up to 180. So in a quadrilateral, it adds up to 360. What do you think a pentagon adds up to? So a quadrilateral adds up to 360. Pentagon,
720.
one less than that. So you're adding 180 to every side basically. So from a triangle it's 180, and then quadrilateral 360. So pentagon is 540, and then hexagon, Ivan. What did you say earlier? Hexagon, right? 720, and so forth. So every extra side is another 180 basically. All right. Z pattern right here, that means this angle is equal to this angle. And then we call it alternate angle. I know in grade 8, you guys call it the Z pattern. Do you think it will work in grade 9? No. Okay. F pattern. This F pattern tells you that this top two corners add up, they are also equal. And we call it corresponding. Okay, let me finish up. And then this right here in the C pattern, we don't call it the C pattern, we call it the co-interior. Co-interior means that they add up to 180. They're not equal, but they add up to 180. And it's co-interior, not interior, not C interior, right? The spelling counts, spelling counts, spelling counts. Right? Interior angle is something else. So make sure you have the right name. Right. Last one, I'm just doing one quick example. Right here, for example, how does this differ than, on page 5 right here, how does this differ than grade 8 then? Why am I doing this now instead of in grade 8? Okay, so for example, this right here, what angle property can I apply? Yeah. Complementary. Good. Complementary. I know that this angle and this angle have to add up to how much? Well, 90. 90. Yeah, you gave me the right property, but then you told me the wrong angle. Right? So these two are complementary angles, and I know that they have to add up to 90 degrees. So putting it in adding in algebra with angles. So x plus 30 plus x minus 10. When I add that together, it should equal 90. And there you go. You just set up your algebraic expression. Now to solve for the algebra. So 2x plus 20 equals 90. Okay. Betsy, can you help me solve the rest of this? What do I do with the 20? Minus it. So 2x equals 70. And then, right, divide it. So x equals 35. What's my unit here? Degrees. Angles is always in degrees. Okay. And remember, angle is the angle that it makes between two lines. So I see some people write 35 degrees on the line. It doesn't make sense. Okay. It's an angle is what two lines make in between. Okay. So there you go. When you do these questions, you do have to state what property you use. How do I know which property we use? Right here. Okay, all these names. Right, these names right here. Okay. One last thing. How many F do you see in this diagram? How many F? Okay, who says 1? Who says 2? Who says 3? F's, yeah. Who sees 4? I do. Yes, there are 4. So 1, 2, the backward F. Right. The upside down F. And the upside down backward F. Right. So all those angles are equal. So A, this is also A. This is angle B as well. And it matches up with the opposite property. Right? Because I know if this is A, that means this angle is also A. If this is angle B, this is also angle B, which means that they are both equal based on the corresponding pattern. Okay. What about this one? How many Z do you see? 4. What do you see 4? How many do you see? I see a Z and a backward Z. So there's 2 in this case. Okay. What about wait, here. How about this one? How many Z do you see? 2. Okay. 0. Why 0? Because the lines are not parallel. Look at all these right here. Yeah. The lines have to be parallel for this property to make sense. If they're not parallel, there's no Z, no F, no Z, no anything. Okay? We can't solve this if it's not parallel. The only thing we can solve is if this is, let's say, 30 degrees, then how much is this side? How did you get that? Right. So the only thing we can do when lines are not parallel is the supplementary rule. So that means this is 150 on this side. Okay. The one that we use a lot is supplementary. So every straight line makes up a 180 degrees, and a sum of triangle. Three angles in a triangle add up to 180. These two are the ones that we use 90% of the time. Okay, and I'm done.